Plus, the clock is ticking. Will Tommy Dreamer get his hands on AJ Styles tonight?
AJ! Come on, AJ! Where are you hiding, AJ? Oh, you're so tough. Come on. Stop hiding, AJ. AJ!
One of the newest members of Flair's Fortune is a Brit that fits into the group's social hierarchy, but has this X Division champion bit off more than he can chew.
You know what, I deal with one set of high-flying morons who call themselves wrestlers, and now another lot come along, EV2, nothing but a bunch of bingo hall, backyard garbage fighters calling themselves wrestlers. I mean, quite frankly, they're an affront to the professionalism and the athleticism of what I consider professional wrestling. Well, I wouldn't define that as arrogance. I would define that as confidence in my own abilities and in pushing the art form of professional wrestling to achieve the level and respect that it truly deserves. And when you get the likes of EV2 coming on the scene with the style of stuff they do, it just brings that respect right down again, you know? I think it's because we concentrate on the essentials and on the fundamentals and on the art of what is, you know, underlined by the word wrestling.
You know, at Hard Justice, it was just all the original members of a company that was extreme, a company that was passionate about what they believed in, a company that wanted to make a difference, wanted to change the wrestling world, and wanted to be cemented in history. That went out there and they beat each other up just for something they believed in. You know, they didn't care if they mangled their bodies because they were in a barbed wire match. They believed in something and they went forward. And at Hard Justice, it was something that we could recapture because it was just us in there, not people running in and not this, not that. We talked about what it was. We shared some stories, and then when we went out there and kicked each other's ass, we loved each other afterwards. We fought. We were friends again. That was it.
Earlier tonight, Douglas Williams went after EV2 Sabu.
We bled together, we sweat together, we drive together, and they picked the wrong guys.
Who is it that you're looking forward to the most getting out there?
I'd have to say Doug Williams. I'm out to kick first.
I hear there's a little something that could happen, you know, potentially between me and Sabu. And that's interesting because not only does he bring that style that EV2 are known for, he's also, you know, the forerunner of what would be the X Division style nowadays. So, you know, he's going to try and mesh those two together, but I don't think that's going to work against me. I'd say concentrate on his ground game. Don't think that he's going to beat me by utilising the high-flying antics that he's known for, you know, the daredevil style that he's built his name on, because it's just not going to work against me. I'm used to those sort of things. I've dealt with them before. When it comes to him, I'll deal with them again.
With tensions reaching a new boiling point between EV2 and Fortune, emotions are bound to erupt.
The war has just begun. Because you see, they, as I've said for weeks and weeks and weeks, have a plan. And that plan is going very smoothly right now. I will continue to pave the way for them by destroying Rhino and destroying Jeff Hardy and destroying Tommy Dreamer and destroying Rob Van Dam.
I'm a little convinced that Fortune, you know, is they, but you never know in the wrestling world. It's just, there's always surprises, and sometimes, you know, it's cool, and sometimes it's not, and sometimes it's just like, what the I mean, if they are they, you know, which they say they are, we've got one group of ass we need to kick. Fortune, any member, I'd really like to get in there and them up. Started off like something fun, sounded really fun, and then it just kind of snowballed into, you know, a bunch of wanting to bark up the wrong tree.
I don't agree. I don't see it that way at all. It was us giving them a lesson and showing them where they deserve to be right now and where we deserve to be, which is on top of TNA.
Just wanted to come in and have a show and say our goodbyes, you know, and something special that we created, and a bunch of people started becoming douchebags. So that's obviously nothing new in the wrestling world.
It wasn't a night though, was it? It was the pay-per-view, and then they saw fit to come back the next day, didn't they? and put their foot in there as well? Why can't they just go to the back? Why can't they leave us alone and let us carry on with you know, promoting the art form that is professional wrestling?
We're TNA. We've been here since the very beginning. We know what it takes to build a company, unlike those two pieces of crap.
We came here with a friendly attitude ever since we walked in the door.
It's all about business. They're here to climb the ladder, and unfortunately they're going to try to use us as stepping stones. But we ain't stepping stones for nobody, and nobody's going to make us stepping stones. We're going to use them down the line. They may have got us tonight. They may be the better team, but we're the better men.
You send two little boys to face two men, and you see what happens.
We're trying to get our game plan together. Next thing you know, that's what they have to do. They have to jump us. But
what is it with these
one
guys?
day down the line, it ain't going to be like that because we're going to be ready. Maybe tonight they caught us off guard, but it's going to be another night, another day, and that ain't going to happen.
You can't drink with the big boys. You can't fight with the big boys. We're TNA, better yet. We're Fortune. Fortune rules, and everybody else, including EV2, can take a back seat. Because James and I, tonight was just the beginning.
You know, we may have picked up the tab tonight for beer money, but this ain't over yet.
No. And fought all the big dogs before.
All we need to do is have an opportunity to show ourselves. We ain't the biggest. We might not even be the toughest, but it sure as hell will be in there the longest.
We got the heart, and we'll fight anybody, no matter how big they are.
So just take a number and get in line.
If you keep beating us down, you keep beating us down, but we just keep coming back.
Yeah.
We're talking about two different extremes of what the definition of wrestling is. You know, your likes of myself, Flair, AJ, Kazarian, and Beer Money. We are, at heart, all traditionalists, and we work on the art form of what is wrestling. EV2 just come at it like they're undisciplined brawlers. Like all they're looking for is a fight. So you can't really expect to get any kind of respect being that way. It's just wrestling, there's rules. You know, it's a sport. Tommy Dreamer needs to learn to abide by those rules and stick to them and play fair.
Do you play fair?
Of course I do, every single time. You've seen it, you know that.
Still to come on TNA Reaction. Are they the future of tag team wrestling? We take a look at Jen Mee and our Impact Player of the Week. What does Madison Rayne have up her sleeve? Mr. Anderson, the Pope, and Jeff Hardy. What are their thoughts on tonight's news? Can they coexist in tag team action next Thursday on Impact? And what does Mick Foley have to say about Fortune? Still to come on TNA Reaction. EV2 and Fortune will finally stand face-to-face inside the ring in an 8-man main event next week on Impact. We'll hear from both sides. Plus, Mick Foley talks about his relationship with Ric Flair.
AJ's kind of funny when he talks about that where we're standing is the house that AJ Styles built. And AJ has been here since day one. Nobody's going to discount that. But as far as this house that we're standing in being the one that AJ Styles built, my good friend, my brother in hardcore, Tommy Dreamer, is going to wrap his arm around AJ's head and plant it in the floor of the house that AJ Styles built. The word receipt is not just a word with the EV 2.0 guys. It's very real. Fortune did lay a beating on us, a very bad beating, probably the worst one that any one of us have experienced ever in our careers. But a warning for all of them, especially AJ Styles. If he thinks for 1 second that Tommy Dreamer kicked his ass earlier tonight, the night is young, AJ Styles. The night is young. And the night has only just begun. Don't even touch that remote, because you're going to see AJ Styles' night get a whole lot worse.
Next week on TNA Impact, the Final Four in the TNA title tournament will go to war in a tag team match. These four men had their sights set on the double main event at No Surrender and had to turn on a dime when Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff dropped this bombshell on them. How will Angle, Anderson, Hardy, and the Pope prepare for this tag match on Impact next Thursday? Just 72 hours before these men compete to determine the main event at Bound for Glory.
Look, Hogan said it. He wants to know that whoever becomes the next TNA World Heavyweight Champion is worthy of that title. And yeah, is it unprecedented to put four of the top contenders for the TNA World Heavyweight title into a tag match 3 days before a pay-per-view? You damn right it's controversial.